We're live. Get some light in here, I guess. See if notifications go out. I don't know about you guys, but YouTube used to send me an email every time I go live, but it never happens anymore. Yeah, that dude's scary. That thumbnail is scary. Isn't that right? Let's turn this down here. Oh man, what a day. I did 580 miles. That's pretty good considering that I loaded, had to go through Atlanta, Chattanooga, and Nashville. Nashville at rush hour. And I didn't take the Briley. So, kudos to me. I'm going to toot my own horn. Let's do some shout outs here. We got Daniel Adami, Scott SRO, Ratman Roden, Big Red, sorry. What's up? GNC Family Truckin', Spooby, Southbound J, BLR, what's up? How are you? I'm doing okay. Brian, B. Craighead, hello sir, I'm doing great. Stu Manchu, Jason Perry. I'm in Kentucky. I'm in Coachland. In Kentucky, Southbound J. Right lane just ran her cents per mile and cost per day off the 2019 figures. Awesome. Do you want to share that info on your channel? Those of you who don't know, Right Lane has his own channel. I know that he's always in our videos chatting, but go check out Right Lane. He's a guy that went straight from hauling the Carbolicious to having his own authority. Provost Motorsports, Ralph Floto. I don't know if I said hey to you. Adam Gallagher, something. How's it going? Didn't Jason Perry have a wrench? I don't remember if he did or not. Is that the real Jason Perry? You're welcome, Right Lane. Right Lane's doing very well for himself. He has his own authority. He's out of Denver and he's making it work, man. He grossed in 3 months. He grossed in 3 quarters what took me all year last year. I interrupt the impeachment hearings. Yeah, that sucks. What a bummer. It's been don't one here. Yeah, I don't think Daniel, all you guys are so generous with your wrenches, man. It's hard to keep track of who's got wrenches. I mean, remember when CPAP the trucker, or CPAP Bible trucker, or whatever he's calling himself now? You remember when he gave everybody a wrench? It's kind of what it's starting to look like in some of these live feeds. bigrigceo, what's up? PALERIDER TV Trucking, this is your pre-show show. Next Gen RD, how much does a wrench cost? Right Lane? Why not? Make a couple extra bucks. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do $500, right? Well, I can just see the YouTubers now. Oh, look at Steve. You're going to buy a wrench on his channel. What a nail. Oh, you'll sell your wrench, Ratman? $5, says Brian. B. Craighead. Next Gen, just for curiosity, how many people would be interested in stuff, right? I mean, I've gone full hardcore, guys. I've got gun magazines and I know Next Gen's got a little bit of a collection, so I was talking with him last night, and I told him I knew nothing about holsters. I'm starting to know a little bit about guns, but I know nothing about holsters. So, I think it'd be great if he did one. So I think that would be kind of cool. So everybody tell Next Gen that you want a holster video, even if you don't. You paid $1,000 for yours? Big Rig Radio Network? If he gives you the 500 carriage, right? And this video is not about me. It's about making sure that we're all tuned in to PALERIDER at 8 p.m. tonight. It's Friday for PALERIDER's Friday Night Live BS session. I don't remember Jeff paying $1,000 for his wrench. Unless you're talking about my cut of the insurance, then I guess, you know. The Snorlord's coffee fund since you ran out of coffee this morning. Well, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. 8 p.m. Central. Dang Easterners. It's about them. Watch Demolition Ranch, and it'll make you want to spend money. Right, man? Why do you want me to spend money? I don't have money. I mean, I got $5 now thanks to Daniel Adami. And by the way, Daniel, I got some coffee right now, man. When did I get some coffee? I think it was on Cello talking about how I wanted to be north of Atlanta before I stopped. And I did. I got to that new Love's there on 24 there past Black Rock at the 158. I got there, got some fuel, and then I got some coffee. And of course, Love's, you get a free refill when you get fuel. And I put my hamburger in the oven, and then I proceeded to haul butt through Nashville, which actually wasn't too bad. Now, I don't know what happened to 24. I haven't been down I-24 in a year. And I don't know what happened, but the traffic between Nashville and Paducah, it's like I-81 in Virginia right now. It's crazy. It's like, where are all these people going? We're out in the middle of nowhere, aren't we? So, driver, I have no idea what you're talking about. Just left IC orientation today. Got the flu. What a perfect day. Oh, man, that sucks. Hope you don't have that new virus that they're thinking that's spreading. I'm not trying to inflict fear or nothing, but, you know. Remember a couple of years ago it was Ebola? So, but welcome to the pumpkin patch. That's good. But Adam Matthew Gatton, are you in Green Bay or Charlotte? Just Google it. Jack of all trades, better late than never. What's up? We're not doing too bad, man. We're not doing too bad. Today's a busy day, man. I haven't ran like this in kind of a minute, so. In Atlanta, but we went right through the middle of both. Well, I didn't go right through the middle of Atlanta, you know, went on 285, but you know what's funny is for some reason the Garmin, yeah, it took me down 675, but I went the wrong way. Went right instead of left. And it actually worked in my favor. I went the long way around Atlanta to get up to 75. And that actually worked out in my favor because Google Maps was showing it was really bad on the west side of Atlanta on 285. So you left Charlotte this morning and Virginia now with first load. LOL, big rig. Good. Adam, I want to congratulate you because usually the first thing these Schneider ICs do after orientation is they go home. And then they don't run for 2 weeks because, hey, I got 2 weeks without a truck payment. No, now's the time to run. Now, you know, if you can gross 4 and only spend $1,000 in fuel, and you're not getting a truck payment, you can literally put back $1,000 for each week, right? That you don't have a truck payment, and then. Now you can afford a week downtime, right? Right off the bat. So I don't remember Robin Williams being in Survivor. Just add your own rules. There you go, Spoopy. I tried to go around Dallas. That big mistake. Dallas is hard to get around. Dallas is like a band-aid. You just got to rip it off and just go through. And there's like 100 different ways. You try 183 or you try 820 or you try 287. You just rip the band-aid off and go. Just 35 E or W if you're going north-south. I tend to stay in 20. If you're going east-west. It's gotten better. I mean, I've been running Dallas for 10 years. It's gotten better as far as like some of the construction being done. So, not to show the 80s movie. Are you talking about Jumanji, James? All roads lead to Dallas. That is absolutely true. Denise White, what's up? The Trucker Dean Show. Facts at Right Lane. Yep. Yeah, there's just, it's you avoid one bottleneck and then you'll hit another, right? That's how Dallas works. And it's just some areas it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. 35E is a little bit better since they finished most of the construction. It used to be you can go on the toll road, and it was night and day difference. But then now the toll roads are clogged up. So, do I use iceless cooler? Yes, I use Fat Pat. I've got the Igloo version of the big Coleman cooler, but I only use it for like cheese, cheese, some vegetables, water. I don't, but I have a fridge too. Now, if you guys don't want to buy a full-blown fridge for your truck, look up Alpicool, ALPI. It is a refrigerator, but it's 12 volt. It's a 12 volt plug-in, but your iceless coolers are 30 degrees below ambient temperature. So if it's 90 degrees in the truck, it's only going to be 60 degrees, right? And I'm sorry, but you keep your food at 6 degrees, you're going to get food poisoning. So the Alpicool will actually work as a freezer / refrigerator, and they're way less expensive than the truck fridge deals that you get, like the Iowa 80. So you gross 3,700 this week in Texas. Had to bounce it to Topeka after a load canceled though. Well, see, that's the great thing about Schneider, Swibby, is you get a load canceled, boom, you can book in a whole new week right then and there. Yes, I'll be cool. Oh no, Burger. Oh wait, you're probably in Pennsylvania. Oh, good deal, Brian. Good deal. But I will say that I've had better luck. Now, I'm knocking on wood because it never fails, right? I've gone to 2 Colemans in less than 2 years, but this Igloo's lasted for the last 5. So $350 on Amazon if you get the biggest one. Yep. bigrigceo is heading to PA. I started using mine when I went grocery shopping when I was in Muskegon, Michigan. Sorry. Hey, Burger, if you end up getting something, well, you got to be in Springfield, man. My wife said she'll cook you spaghetti. Cook you spaghetti, play on my 100 watt amp, and we'll have some fun. Jack of all trades, I have an apartment-sized fridge plugged into my 1500 inverter. I did that one time. I bought, after my first Coleman died, I was at Walmart and I passed by those dorm fridges. I'm like, that's like $60. And it's a true fridge, right? And I probably didn't have it secure enough because all that jostling is really bad on them, on the Freon lines and everything. And it ended up surging my inverter. And before I turned that company truck in, the alternator went out, the inverter went out, and that fridge was done. And I only had it for a month. So you have to be really careful. Now, I know a guy that took out his passenger seat and he bolted it to the floor. He said he didn't have any problems with it, but again, those dorm style fridges, they're not meant for all the shaking in the truck. I got the midsize on a lighting deal for $205. Oh, you're in the shop again? Jeez. No, Burger. You're going to get spaghetti. You're not taking us out to eat. You're getting spaghetti. That's what's going on. Big Rich, what's up? Good evening. Sorry, I'm reading comments. Dead air, dead air. Snorballs. That's funny. That's funny. Coolatron is what I got. Fat Pat, I had the Coolatron. I had the real skinny one, right? That lasted a long time for me too, because so let me go over my cooler history, okay? I had a Coleman, didn't even last 6 months, right? So I bought the little Coolatron that has the motor in the lid, you know, and it looks like a traditional like ice chest. And I like that because you could put ice in it if the motor failed, and it was easy to dump it out, right? And that worked really well. I kept it up front, so in the summertime the AC was on it, in the wintertime it worked really well. In fact, sometimes it would freeze my food, right? And then I thought, well, when I started training, well, my trainees, you know, they weren't making very much money, so I wanted to give them some space for a cooler, so I bought one of them skinny Coolatrons. And that was their cooler. They could put whatever they wanted in it, right? And I survived with those two things for a long time. And then when I had my fire in the Peterbilt, I took out the skinny one, which I still have, and actually finally died. And so I bought a Coleman for a minute, and that didn't last. And so I bought the Igloo. That's the size of the Coleman. So, but the Coolatrons are really good. They're a little bit cheaper and they're smaller. So if you don't have a whole lot of space, they're perfect. But just know that, again, it's 30 degrees below ambient temperature. All right, Burger. Good luck to you, man. Hang out in Illinois. Got to deliver in Minnesota on Monday. This Trucker's Live. Good evening. Fire. My inverter, the way the wires were hooked up by the APU place, they rubbed on the frame so bad that plus the install, that it arced on the frame, and the cables from the battery box to the inverter all caught on fire. And had I not had a fire extinguisher, the truck, we'd be having a different conversation right now. And if anybody wants to know the name of the APU place that almost burned my truck down, email me and I will tell you where that was, so you don't go there. I will do everything in my power to make sure that that place doesn't get any more business. Yes, then one day, Big Rig CEO got me a real fridge. That is absolutely true. Mr. Big Rig CEO thought that he was done with the OTR life, and so he gave me his fridge. And I am eternally grateful for him doing that. Electric cooler have no moving parts other than the fan, so if it stops working, just replace the fan. That is true. Yeah, dude, that was a weird night, man. That was when, I don't want to cut into PALERIDER's time, so we'll make this quick. But I was in Gallup, New Mexico, when I was with Landstar, and I'm sitting there watching TV, and APU's running, everything's working fine, you know, and my all the power goes out, my inverter starts beeping, and I thought, man, I'm draining my batteries. So I went and started the truck up, and I smell smoke. The truck started, now I'm smelling smoke, but I can't see where it's coming from. So I grabbed all the stuff off my bed, lifted up the bunk, not coming from there, but there was smoke in the cab. So I run outside, and I look behind, and there's flames this high right underneath the driver's side and the back of the sleeper over there by the fuel tank. And I freaked out. Well, I didn't freak out. So I yelled fire, got back in my truck, hit the air horn, and the guy to this side of me, he took off. He's like, I ain't getting my truck burned down. And he took off. There was a Stevens driver to my right, and as I'm running around trying to get my fire extinguisher, he hands me his, and I put out the fire. And I'm looking, I got no air, and what had happened was that fire had burned the air hoses. So came out and said that they can't touch anything electrical. So they opened the panel up, they had me with my hands duct tape the ends of the battery, disconnecting the battery cables from the inverter, and then they wrapped them up in tape, and then they went underneath and found that the air lines going in the air tanks had burned up. So I had no air. And get this, I had enough of a signal to get on Facebook, but I didn't have enough signal to text, and I didn't have enough signal to make a phone call. And so I had to tell my wife over a text that I had a fire and that I was okay. And I was heading to Phoenix, Arizona, and I knew that the next day I was going to be dwelling, because I went through a lot of depression at this time, right? A lot of depression, a lot of stress. And I knew that in PALERIDER, he knew where my mind was going to go. So he called me, and we talked for hours that entire trip as I was going through the desert at night, nothing to look at, you know, so my mind wouldn't dwell. He was really there as a friend for me. And so once the shop got the airlines patched up, I brought it into the shop. They fixed it, paid them $150. Thanked them, because their boss almost didn't let them work on the truck because the electrical stuff, right? And I did not sleep at all. Not one wink, because any smell, any little tiny little thing, man, any weird noise, any jarring of the truck, man, I was up. It was sleeping one eye open, right? And of course I had to use a little small inverter for my CPAP machine, And of course, APU was rendered useless at that point. And at a Walmart, I bought a smoke detector and I bought a carbon monoxide detector for the truck. So. Let's read some comments. Yeah, I should have sued, but I couldn't. John, here's so we got a few minutes. So here's what happened. Here's the aftermath. I went to Thermo King in Springfield, had them inspect the damage from the connections to the APU and all that, because the motor was still good. On paper, what caused the fire? They weren't the one, by the way, they weren't the ones that did it. They weren't the ones that did the install. Let me get that clear. I went to Thermo King because the only other APU place besides Carrier, I didn't have a Carrier, was no bueno. They were the ones that did it, and they would not like sign and say, yeah, this is what happened. And then they charged me $200 to tell me it was going to be about an $1,800 fix. But luckily I found Dale's APU service. He resurrected the APU, and then I ended up putting another $3,000. So here's the thing, guys. If you have a choice between a brand new APU and a used APU, get the new one. It has a warranty, because I watched a person buy a used tri-pack for $5,000, and then within a year ended up putting another $5,000 into it. And guess what? That's the price of a new APU. And if you go through the other APU's place, their warranty is only good for their shop, which is only in Stratford, Missouri. That should give you another clue. So, but definitely you want a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector in your truck. So. No, right lane. And you know, here's the thing I hated about that Peterbilt. There's no, like, if there's a fire up here, I gotta go through it to get out in the Peterbilt, but I've got a back door, right? So, if something was to ever happen up here. We are 8 minutes from PALERIDER going live. If you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe to PALERIDER TV. Tell him how much he loves broccoli. Christian Trucker, good to see you, my friend. Go above 5 minutes longer. I'm almost done. You're so bossy, PALERIDER. Here I am doing you a favor. You're like, you're not doing it good enough. What the heck, man? Shh. See what happens when you don't eat broccoli? You become grumpy. Grumpy and late. That's PALERIDER for you. But yeah, so having a fire in your truck in your first year being an owner operator is not a big confidence boost. And yeah, so and Dale's APU, they do good service. I mean, it's just, I think the bad install from the other place just was compounded every time something went wrong. It's like, well, they shouldn't have put this on there, they shouldn't have put that on there. And this guy knows that shop because he used to work there. So if you can't afford new, go through Dale's APU there in Springfield, Missouri. John Armstrong, if I had to recommend an APU, get a Carrier. Get a Carrier. There you go. bigrigceo put it out there. At the truck shows, if a person saw their business cards, they may or may not have been all grabbed and thrown in the trash. That may or may not have happened. Broccoli pizza. I bet that PALERIDER TV would like it. Broccoli tacos. Broccoli tacos. Blackbeard's in the house. Oh. Dang notifications. Broccoli and feta pizza. Pappy Whamma Jam, what's up? Hey man, I have to admit, man, Jeff was kind of right about that Logic Mini, man. I bought one, or he gave me one, and I've used it 3 times now. It's done really good. That was my Christmas bonus this year. So. Pale Rider, you need to let me know when you want me to end the speed. Dang it. But today was a busy day, and my 7-day gross has been pretty good. It's not going to make up for my lack of revenue this month, but we're trying. So, enter to win a crapper in the word crapper to bigrigceo@gmail.com. There you go. bigrigceo doing his plugs. Oh, there you go, Jack of all trades. I know that Jeff has that all be cool. Roscoe has the all be cool. bigrigceo, I think, don't you have it? I think a couple other light guys. I don't have one. I'm thinking about replacing my Igloo with that all be cool. So Daniel Adami's got one, right? Cheaper than those plug-in refrigerators that you see at the Iowa 80. So, and guys, there's less draw with those things. You know, a thermo cooler has got to run constantly, right, just to maintain. But the refrigerator style, once it hits a certain temperature, it can shut off. You know, it can kind of, you know what I mean? A refrigerator has less draw than the plug-in coolers, because it doesn't have to run constantly the same speed all the time. Tried that broccoli bowl, it was very good. Awesome. Yeah, tonight's dinner, what I did is I didn't videotape it, but I laid the hamburger down, and then I put cabbage on top, cabbage and mushrooms, and it was really good. That's kind of my go-to when I'm at home. I'll just cook up a bunch of hamburger and cabbage all together, and that's kind of my keto meals while they eat whatever, because she plans her meals out for the week. So, Leslie, what's up? Yes. John Armstrong, I'll tell you what, man, 2 things have saved me money on the road. One is the generous offering of a fridge by bigrigceo. And 2, the ketogenic diet has saved me money. Not sure what this car is doing. Going the wrong way. You can't get out because I took the end spot. He's got enough room to turn around though. Oh, Daniel. Yeah, videotape. All be cool shuts off when it hits 5 degrees below 0. Well, John, I did a video about how to curb the sugar cravings. That'd be cool, bigrigceo. Little Vine Coach, have you hit the thumbs up button today? Thank you, sir. Snarlord, I just finished eating some freshly cooked broccoli just for Pale Rider. LOL. Good deal. Lots of vitamins and goodness in broccoli. So I guess Pale Rider wants me to go 5 more minutes, so here we are. Just to quit his soda. There are some decent alternatives. If you just want the fizz, the sparkling water is good. I would do the LaCroix, but I would do the you can buy seltzer water, you can buy the Perrier, and those flavor packets, they're not the healthiest thing, but they're better than diet soda too. So Coke Zero. Coke Zero, everybody knows my opinion of diet sodas, but if that's what gets you off of sugar, then by all means do it, right? You know, and then you can work on cleaning up later. See, that's the thing. I went low carb, and then I went dirty keto, and then now I'm trying to be a little bit more cleaner. And once you start feeling better, it's a lot easier to quit the Kirkland Italian sparkling mineral water. I don't think I've ever had that. Ralph. Pale Rider's trying to build up tension for Goose How. What's Goose How? Oh, good show. Okay. I'm an idiot. Here, we'll give the video recorder something. I'm an idiot. There you go. Oh, and since riddles are a thing right now, I have a riddle. You guys want to hear my riddle? Do some truck drivers have trouble keeping their truck in their own? The amount of trucks that have come over in my lane today, there was one that if it wasn't an empty flatbed, he would have taken my mirror out today. And that was an old cab over. And so it's like, everybody's like, oh, you know, and it's just like, man, you got to know your space. That's my riddle. Leave the house with the 12-pack of Coke Zero, come back with 9. Been drinking Powerade Zero and coffee. You know, Next Gen, he did a lot of Powerade Zero. Like I said, whatever works, man, whatever works. Now, I will say this. That monk fruit sweetener that I showed you guys, do not add that to sparkling water. It's a very similar effect to Diet Coke and Mentos. Just use your imagination. But eventually you want to get off soda completely, right? All right. Everybody go to Pale Rider TV. We all know how great YouTube's doing with notifications. Thanks for watching. Click the thumbs up if you like me. Click the thumbs down twice if you hate me. And either way, I am what I am. It is what it is. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Pale Rider TV, go. Right now. Go. Why are you still here? Go.